Good morning, Tony Dattino, founder of the USA Memory Championship, doing my Wednesday Live with Tony. And I have so many different articles I've been reading recently and catching up on my reading, and there's just so many articles that I want to share with you that it's tough some mornings for me to pick out which one I'm going to pick or to select. But you can still see it's a little bit chilly down here in Florida, though. When I talk to my northern friends and Midwest friends, I'm not complaining. We're having, 40 and 50 degree temperatures, while too many people are having single digits and freezing ice and snow and rock salt in the driveway. So I'm not complaining. It's nice. I have a light flannel on and it works. But the morning I want to pick off in the Healthy Years that comes in from UCLA. So it's a Healthy Years newsletter that comes in that I get. It has 5 tips on how you can boost your immune system, as given by their medical director. And it starts off with making sure you prioritize your sleep. And I think we all know that we want to sleep. I've been talking about this, and there's been a half a dozen articles that I've talked about in terms of sleep and optimizing our sleep and ways to make sure you're getting sleep. But it's clear that sleep is an essential part of recovery and repair of both, not just your body, where you're healing your injuries, your bumps, but what we don't see, and it isn't as visible, is it's a recovery also for our mental fitness and our cognitive functions. And so there's a substance made, they call it here in the article, I think I'm going to get this right, IL-6, made by immune systems when your body detects that something's wrong, an infection or an injury. It can keep your body's inflammation switch on and contribute to problems of various kinds. But improving sleep begins with the morning light, and 10 minutes of morning sunlight resets your brain's clock to promote energy, steady energy, and improves your mood and gets you into a deeper sleep. And how did I lose my Live with Tony? Where did I go? There we go. Not sure how that happened, but I'm back. And I'm gone again. What's happening here? And I'm back again. Not sure what's happening to my laptop, but I'm going to try to hang in there with you. Get through these 5 things that help you with your immune system. So getting your sleep is number 1. Number 2, shift your nutrition. And nutrition is another one of these things that are changing. What are good foods to eat for you? Should you be eating red meat? Should you not be eating red meat? This ping pong ball doesn't seem to want to stop at this point in time. But the important thing is anti-inflammatory nutrition. Now, as the researcher here talks about, the medical director says, nutrition is the medicine, and avoiding pro-inflammatory foods such as processed foods that contain refined carbs, processed sugars, and oils are best to either limit or avoid, depending upon how disciplined you want to be. If you do eat them, try to opt for organic or grass-fed varieties. Now, what we do know is on nutrition, the mix of our fats and proteins and carbs have an impact on our cognitive function as well, because our brain is using the chemicals that we get from the foods we eat, and that has an impact on our cognitive functions. And so looking at this from an anti-inflammatory, obviously you wouldn't want to be creating negative impacts to your cognitive functions. And so a practical inflammatory diet focuses on colorful fruits and veggies, and we keep seeing more and more about nutrition. But do people understand that your nutrition also has an impact on your cognitive functions? And I think of the articles I keep reading about alcohol, and some people think, well, I have some drinks and alcohol, but yet alcohol, it may make you feel sleepy at one point, but makes you wake up, and it messes with your brain. So do we understand the impacts that alcohol has on our mental functions? I think we might make some modifications to our drinking habits. Third one, exercise consistently. indoors and outdoors. Movement is a critical tool for building your immune system, but what we keep reading is what? Exercise is vital for mental functions. And I always say to people, just go out and take a walk, or go get to the gym, or go on a treadmill, or stay home and walk up and down some steps. And just think about the change in oxygen levels that you're impacting to your brain, which uses about 25% of the oxygen we take in, and how exercise impacts that. But then, when you're exercising, how do you feel before an exercise routine? And note how you feel after an exercise routine. And I mean the mental aspects. I'm not meaning whether you're tired or you're alert or whatever. I'm meaning just when you were exercising, did you free up your mind to just go off into a different place? Did you just think about things, whether they were problems or things, or whether they were pleasant things in your life? My point is, exercise brings a physiological change to your brain, and therefore it helps some thinking patterns. It may take you out of stress, which we're going to talk about here too. But when you engage in physical activity, your muscles release something called myokines, whatever, M-Y-O-K-I-N-E-S, like, myokines, it's a new one. I'm looking at keratines, but no, these are myokines, which have an anti-inflammatory effect throughout the body. It helps reduce fat tissues and is a source of inflammatory chemicals. Build cardio, strength, and flexibility. This is one thing I keep talking about in terms of exercise, having the three. What are you doing for your heart and your cardio systems? What are you doing for light exercises? I'm saying 3, 4, 5-pound dumbbells. And what are you doing for flexibility? Your stretching and your bending and things of that sort. Next, nurture your social connections. Who thinks of social connections as building strength in your immune system? I know social connections are clearly, the articles coming out on social connections for mental health are endless. They're just coming out every week. There's a new article on loneliness and isolation and the impact to our mental health. Well, here comes the researcher here, and let me give you credit to, this is Dr. Elizabeth Coe, K-O, Elizabeth Coe from the UCLA Integrative Medicine Department, and she's talking about nurturing social connections. One of the most overlooked aspects of immune health is social connection. The doc gives you real weight. Social support boosts the immune health, decreases pain perception, and regulates stress hormones. Wow. Sharing meals, laughter, or a walk with someone lowers chronic inflammation and increases a feeling of safety and belonging. Positive social interaction reinforces behavior patterns, making it easier to stick with the exercise, your nutritional habits, and new wellness routines. I mean, how's that for a big-sized loaf? And I keep talking about the importance of exercise of some sort, even a walk. And reading recently, a 5-minute walk after dinner changes all of the walking and the social connections you make. So taking a walk with a friend, with a dog, with somebody's pet, nurturing social connections all have a major impact. And then last but not least, in the doc's article here, about treating stress management as essential immune care. And that one seems to be so obvious because of the biological changes that take place in our bodies, in our minds, when we're in this prolonged period of stress. If you're constantly on the go worrying about something, it's time to dial it down. Stress management is a crucial part of calming chronic inflammation and protecting long-term health. Over time, unmanaged stress accelerates your aging, raises your blood pressure, and drains your immune resilience. And that would seem to be so obvious if you understood the chemical reactions of when you prolong your periods of stress and what that does to you in accelerating the different fight or flight chemicals that you want to downshift as quickly as possible. So again, I thought this was an excellent article, and I found it totally the 5 elements here that will help you with your immune system all clearly tie out to what also goes on with cognitive function. So it's good to see we're getting multiple certification of things that you can do that impact your heart, your breathing, exercise, your mental functions, and now we're looking at it from an immune system point of view. So it's all good things, all similar to what we talk about here in our Live with Tony on what do we do to help with our cognitive fitness. We'll see you back here on Friday. See if you can stay warm. I'm going to try to stay warm here today, and we'll take it from there, and we'll see you on Friday.